Guys, Christinablackfeather here again. Back for another watering the garden video. Haven't been out for a couple days because we had extreme heat and the humidity is so bad I was having trouble breathing again and just not feeling fantastic. But I'm got a 16-hour shift on Thursday, and then I'm off for 3 days again. So going to try to work more on the dressing room and maybe get started on unboxing my art room. Someday project, you know. Been making chainmail like crazy, and yesterday was repairing jewelry for patients and stuff like that. Because, hey, I have all the tools and everything, you know, so it's easy for me to do for people. Anyway, part of this video that I'm making, my sweetie and I discussed this, and it's Pride Month, and we decided to, that it's time to talk about this. As you guys know, I got married in 2015. And we had the Renaissance Festival wedding, and we had a fantastic time. And that was a turning point in both our lives and in our kids' lives and stuff. And we had a fantastic honeymoon. We had the time of our lives, you know, and it was a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and it was representative of major change for both of us. Now, we still look back at the photos and everything, and they represent coming out of the past and becoming the people that we are today. Major turning point, which a marriage usually is anyway. Looks like I have to trim a branch there. Anyway, well, I did not know at the time that there was an issue, and it wasn't an issue for me, but it was an issue for my husband. And so it was like about a year after we got married. Troy had been diagnosed with MS that winter after the honeymoon and everything, and that had nothing to do with it, but it was like a year later, maybe even 2 years, that Troy came out to me that they wanted to transition to female. And she was scared that I would do what has happened to other trans people who are in marriages, that they end up getting divorced. You know, their partner's like, enough is enough, I'm done, and leave them. And I didn't have that reaction. It was, to me, I was more annoyed that there was a trust issue there, but I understood why there was a trust issue there. I mean, considering everything that goes on with trans people, even now, it was, I fully understood why it was very hard for her to come out to me. And this is after, you know, my daughter came out when she was 12 as lesbian, you know. And I am talking about things that I have permission from the people I'm talking about. Plus they're all adults. So anybody can come down on me if they want, but it'd be stupid. anyway, I was more concerned about the trust issue, and we worked that out, because it is a very, very hard thing for a person who wants to transition to come out to people that they love, because there will be lashing out from those people, thinking that they're either offended or they're the ones being hurt, or this is just, a game, or whatever, or they've joined the propaganda, they've been caught up in it, or there's a what do they call it, the trans agenda, I mean, there's all sorts of stupid that falls around it, and gets exposed when a person decides to come out. Of course, we did not have that. And I have had, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Troy has been out in public since probably December, has been out to the family before that. And it just felt weird not being able to use proper pronouns on, if I'm in hangouts with anybody, anything like that. I can't say anything, Here's the catalpa flowers. Told you they'd bloom. So, that's what this video is for. I have had people ask me, well, how can you stay with him? And they still use him. How can you do this, and how did that make you feel and everything? And I'm like, I want my wife to be happy. I did not marry a set of dangly bits. And if somebody's dangly bits are that important in a marriage, then that marriage has a problem. Because it should not be about what is between the legs. It should be about how you feel about each other, how devoted you are to each other, how, that despite struggles and rise and fall and in circumstances and everything else, that you want to be with that person. They are the love of your life. They're not there because you have to have them there. They're there because you want them there, which is something I've always told my children. It doesn't matter. And I get the most surprised looks from people regarding that. But that's just the way it is. I married Troy. That's the person I want to be with. That's it. Over the last couple years, I've almost lost Troy so many times. And I realized I was not ready for that. Every time. I was not ready for that. We still talk about the day that Troy collapsed after I came home from work after a 12-hour shift. And I almost lost her on the living room floor 2 months after COVID because she went into organ failure. And that still scares the shit out of me. Because there were several times between medication fuck-ups, and yes, I'm swearing. I'm not monetizing this, so I don't care. Now there's bad kidney damage. There's diastolic heart failure. There's all these other things going on. And it's been a road through hell in in these last 2.5 years. And she's now doing chainmail again. We managed to find the right equipment that she can see enough to actually start making things again. She's still writing to do some DMing for GURPS and possibly for D&D. Her life is coming back. She gets periods where she's exhausted, has to use the walker again, or walking around the house is really hard. And then there's days that, that she's feeling really good and able to go around a little more without the walker and stuff. So recovery is happening, and it's happening slowly. This is a testimony that recovery from events like that does not come quick. Anybody who's expecting it to go fast, it's not going to. It takes time. And part of that time also involves mental health. We've had her in therapy. We had to change doctors. In part too, the doctor change was because we're now with one that handles everything for transgender. The hospital system we use has got a very, very excellent program for transgender. And this doctor handles cardiac, handles everything. And then, of course, we've got the dialysis team and, all of that. So things have looked up a lot. She's on estrogen. And so we have to, between that and the kidney failure, we have to monitor for edema because estrogen does cause some swelling. But at the beginning of this year, she was 90 pounds heavier, and that's the 90 pounds that she lost in 4 weeks after Neurontin was removed. And so with the Lyrica, she still gets a breakthrough pain once in a while from the MS, but, that's about it. And so emotionally, she's doing a lot better. Her life is coming together finally, and that's what the transitioning is about too, is to have the person's life come together. The brain body does not match with somebody who is transgender. It's not, I want to do this because I'm cool. And people who try to say that, like Matt Powell, fuck you, Matt Powell, that's not why it's done. It isn't to be cool. It's because this person wants to express themselves the way that they are. And they have every right to. I'm of the mind that even if a kid isn't trans or doesn't feel like they want to be a girl or want to be a boy or whatever, and they want to dress up in the opposite clothing and just do it for fun, let a little kid do it. What does it matter? Who's hurt? The parents? I'm on the fence about puberty blockers, but, that's because of my pediatric nursing background. I don't know if, what the long-term effects, regarding bone density and things like that, what there really is going to be. We need a lot more studies on that. But that's my opinion. But I think children should be allowed to express themselves as they feel they are. That's if a boy decides for a while that he wants to live as a girl, and he's got dresses and everything else, and then one day it's like, I don't feel that way anymore. That's fine. Nothing wrong with it. Go for it. I let my son play with dolls because he said he wanted to learn to be a better dad. I think he's going to be a fantastic dad. So my father went and got him dolls. His sister was the one who went through the stage of destroying Barbies. Usually it's the brothers, but no. I have some crazy kids, and I have a tomato. So we had talked about this, and it's closer step to no longer having misgendering in this house. If I can finally just say to everybody that I talk to, she, her, my wife, that's going to make the transitioning so much easier, It makes it easier for Troy. So the dressing room, we had a catharsis before the estrogen started. We got rid of all the men's clothes. We donated everything. Do have the sarcasm t-shirts and some of the collectible t-shirts, and we do have some sweatpants because, it's Minnesota, it gets cold. And sarcasm t-shirts, you can't go wrong. I mean, good grief, I wear t-shirts. They're pretty gender neutral. It's like, who cares? I wear them at work because they're comfortable. Not a big deal. But when I get the dressing room done, I want to show you guys. This is the project I've been working on. And I'm trying to set it up so Troy can go in there, grab changes of clothes as she wants, and she's getting to where she's been able to do her own dressing and stuff for a while now, which also was a major change. And, I want to just make sure that that's all set up. And I shouldn't feel the need to hide. I know YouTube can be a bitter place, and I'm sure there's going to be probably people who say they don't want to listen to me anymore, that they're not going to watch my channel anymore, or whatever. I don't care. That's your decision. Trying to water the morel area here. I'm going to set up a drip system next year, I think, for this spot. But anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. It's the appropriate time to just come out on the channel and say it, because there's no reason to hide it. And so next week or the week after, we're looking at getting some wigs for her, and I have to learn to do makeup. You guys know I don't wear makeup myself, so that's an experience for me. A face painter who does not wear makeup, go figure. But yeah, I'm excited about all of this, and she's excited about all of this. So that's where we're at. And so all I want to say to everybody is happy Pride, and I hope you have a fantastic night. Blessed be, everybody. Take care.